With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 1 of 4.
Etc.
Peace for Ukraine or Ukraine.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule。
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 suprememastertv.com/schedule。
God told Moses to hold the staff over the sea. Immediately, a big gust of wind blew back the water, leaving a dry path through the sea. Beloved Prophet Moses, vegetarian, the divine Redeemer and Messenger of God, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
The reason why God's servants love His creatures so deeply is that they realize how deeply Christ loves them. And this is the very character of love, to love what is loved by those we love. Saint Catherine of Siena, vegetarian.
כל שנה רואים את הגודל של התנועה הזאת הולך וגדל, וחשוב להשמיע את הקול של בעלי החיים בצורה הכי חזקה ונחושה שאנחנו יכולים.
Express your adoration for your Israeli friends by saying Ani Ohev Otach, meaning I love you in the Hebrew language. Precious viewers, I am Amir. The blessed people of Israel sincerely thank you for helping to create heaven on earth by adopting a vegan lifestyle.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab tests, or for any reason at all. Be vegan, make peace. So be it.
Welcome to part 2 of a 2-part series entitled Beloved Prophet Moses, Vegetarian, the Divine Redeemer and Messenger of God. Beloved Prophet Moses, vegetarian, is a sacred figure in several religions, including Judaism, Christianity, Islam, the Baha'i Faith, and the Druze faith. He is regarded as a prophet, a leader, and a lawgiver who played a crucial role in the history and development of these Abrahamic religions. After the Israelites had been living in captivity in Egypt for 430 years, Moses was chosen by God to lead them out of bondage and into the promised land Canaan. More than 600,000 children of Israel finally left Egypt, taking their flocks and herds with them. Fleeing in haste, they packed only unleavened bread, for they had no time to allow the dough to rise. As they were leaving, Pharaoh sent his army after the Israelites. God showed the Israelites the way, leading them by day as a column of cloud and as a pillar of fire by night. But the army caught up, trapping them at the edge of the Red Sea. Moses reassured them that God was with them. God told Moses to hold the staff over the sea. Immediately, a big gust of wind blew back the water, leaving a dry path through the sea. The waters formed a wall on their left and on their right, allowing the Hebrews to cross over on dry land. The pursuing Egyptian chariots followed, but their wheels got stuck in the mud, and the sea waters returned, covering up the path. At last, the Israelites were free. They sang and danced, praising God for saving them.
No meat means peace for all.
The Israelites wandered in the Sinai desert for many weeks, hungry and exhausted. God told Moses to gather the people so they could be provided with food. The next morning, the ground was covered with manna, a kind of bread from heaven. On the sixth day, Moses told the Israelites that they should collect enough food to last for 2 days, as the next day was the Sabbath, a day of rest. When they were thirsty, God told Moses to strike a certain rock with his staff. Cold, pure water gushed out to quench their thirst. After 3 months, the Israelites reached the foot of the holy mountain of Sinai, where they set up their camp. Moses went up the mountain to pray to God, who told him that in 3 days, he himself would speak with the people. On the third day, the sky turned black, followed by thunder and lightning. Fire and smoke erupted like a furnace. The ground shook when God spoke in the thunder. God called Moses to him and gave him the 10 Commandments, tablets of stone that contained laws written with the finger of God that the Israelites were to obey. During a conference in 2021, our most beloved Supreme Master Ching Hai, vegan, told a story about the 10 Commandments.
God told him thus, "You go back to tell your people these commandments that I will tell you right now. I am the one who took you out of Egypt and freed you from the slavery there. Number 1, you will not worship other deities or God before me. Means God is the only one. They should only worship God. Understand, yeah? Yes. And then the second, you will not make any statues of any of these deities or similar like that, either within the sky or under the earth. You will not bow down or worship these statues that symbolize those deities. Because I am your God. I am a jealous God." I guess it's just a kind of translation. God is not jealous. If it's a real God, the high God is not jealous. It's just that you should not worship God and lower deities. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? Yes. And even making statues out of them to worship them. And that's a no-no. That's idolatry. They call it, right? Yes. No good. Number 3, God transmitted the 10 Commandments to Moses. Okay? This is a number 3. The third commandment is, you will not call the name of God aloud. Well, we don't, right? Yes. After initiation, you repeat the name of God and relate it to God only in silence, and use the tongue of the mind to repeat when you need to, and during meditation. It's the same, right? Remember? Yes. So this is a thing that God has even told Moses, I guess, to give him initiation and then give him these 10 commandments, and whoever has initiation with Moses later on will have to do the same. Keep the commandments and do not recite the names of God or related under God to anyone or without any reason.
Vegan. All good for the environment.
Sincere viewers, let's take time now to contemplate on the God within our hearts. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television.
Peace for Ukraine or Ukraine now. Russia, just go home.
Welcome back to Beloved Prophet Moses, Vegetarian, the Divine Redeemer and Messenger of God, Part 2 of 2. God told the Israelites, His had chosen them to be a blessing to all the people of the world. His would teach them to live in freedom and gave them His rules for loving Him and loving each other. His prohibited killing, stealing, lying, adultery, and covetousness. In return, the people promised to love Him and obey His rules forever. While Moses, vegetarian, was away on his journey up to Mount Sinai, the Israelites grew restless, so they made a statue of a golden calf and worshipped it. When Moses returned from the mountain and saw what the people had done, he was furious. He threw the tablets with the 10 Commandments to the ground and destroyed the golden calf. God was also angry with the Israelites. However, Moses interceded on their behalf and pleaded with God to spare them. Our beloved Master graciously explained this story during a lecture in Costa Rica in 1991.
When God gets angry, how can God get angry with His people?
En la Biblia dice que Dios se puso bravo. ¿Cómo se puede poner Dios bravo?
That is the interpretation of human.
Bueno, esa es una interpretación humana.
When we say God is angry, it means the law of karma is at work.
Cuando nosotros decimos que Dios está bravo, lo que quiere decir es que la ley del karma está trabajando.
And at least the Lord, the God of karma, is angry, not the Almighty.
Por lo menos el Señor del karma está bravo, tal vez no el Todopoderoso, pero el Señor del karma.
Therefore Moses could not enter the promised land, only see it.
Por eso
For this reason. His own karma came upon him. Is that it?
It's a collective karma of the
whole group.
The group.
Por eso es que Moisés entonces no pudo entrar a la tierra prometida, sino solo verla por su karma. Ella le dice, bueno, por el karma colectivo de todos los judíos.
Because God has helped them through many disasters and showed them many miracles.
Porque
during their I would say exodus, help them, save them, and give them food and drinks, and they never had to worry about anything. But then they disobey God. You see?
Porque usted vio, durante 40 años que duró el éxodo, ¿verdad? Dios los auxilió y los ayudó y los hizo sobrellevar muchos desastres y les ayudó en todo. Y aún así ellos le desobedecieron. ¿Se da usted cuenta?
And they wanted something opposite to God's order.
Y hicieron algo opuesto a la ley de Dios.
They disobeyed God's commandment.
Desobedecieron los mandamientos de Dios.
Therefore, what they refused, they cannot have it again.
Y entonces lo que rechazaron una vez no podían tenerlo otra vez.
Or at least so have to be considered after a long time.
O por lo menos se podía considerar, pero después de mucho tiempo.
There are 211 countries and regions which have animal people protection laws. Egypt is one of them. Egypt, Constitution 2014 and Penal Code 1937. Article 45 of Egypt's constitution says the state shall guarantee humane treatment of animals according to the law. Also, the penal code states that the killing or poisoning of animal people is to be punished by imprisonment with hard labor for up to 1 year or a fine. Obey the law of your country. No more animal people slaughterhouses. No more hurting. No more murdering them to eat, to lab test, or for any reason at all. Be vegan. Make peace. So be it.
On a fresh set of stone tablets, Moses inscribed the Ten Commandments. At Mount Sinai, Moses entered into a covenant with some of the elders and delivered the laws of God to Israel. God also gave Moses instructions about constructing and transporting the tabernacle, the portable shrine, which was similar to a simple tent sanctuary by which Israelites could travel and meditate in the Promised Land. Moses and the Hebrews had wandered in the desert for 40 years, and Joshua, vegetarian, served as Moses' assistant during the journey through the wilderness. Towards the end of Moses' earthly life, God told him that he would not be allowed to enter the Promised Land, but that Joshua would be the one to lead the Israelites into it. Moses then laid his hands on Joshua and commissioned him to be his successor. Moses went up to the top of Mount Nebo to look over the land before him. He passed away at the age of 120. Joshua then became the new leader of the Israelites. He led them across the Jordan River into the Promised Land, where they faced many challenges and battles. With God's help, Joshua led the Israelites to victory, and they were able to establish themselves in their new home. Throughout the journey, Joshua remained faithful to God and to Moses' teachings, and he continued to lead the Israelites in the ways of the Lord. We humbly thank all merciful God for His eternal blessings and for all the enlightened masters who have selflessly come to our world to guide and liberate our souls.
Vegan, 'cause we protect the meek.
Noble viewers, thank you for your devoted company today. Coming up next is Traditional Swedish Meals Part 1 of 2, Vegan Wallenburgare, Swedish burger patties, with creamy vegan mashed potatoes, vegan butter green peas, and vegan cranberry jam, here on Supreme Master Television. May the countless blessings of the divine fill your days with awe and wonder.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Heaven Godspeed.
Russia, leave Ukraine or you reign now. Peace be with you too.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ls.